Shiro, how are we doing? I wake up. The light flowing in is bright, telling me it's sunny today, unlike yesterday. I don't know if it's because of what happened last night, but I don't feel good at my awakening. I must have had a bad nightmare as my temples are throbbing in pain. Now, wasn't he just, like, half crippled the other previous day? I feel like this is an improvement. Even though it's still 6:30, the sky is clear blue. It's warm for winter, and the snow is all gone. My sleepiness goes away once I wash my face and brush my teeth. I can prepare breakfast later than usual, and we can eat slowly as well. That's good. Seems like he's having a good day for once. There's no one in the living room. Well, I'll prepare breakfast. Even though it's Sunday, there are 4 people this morning. I should start preparing. I bought a loaf yesterday, but it's gone, along with the bag. I've never encountered such a crime. A whole loaf of bread's missing, and there's 300 yen coins in its place. The first suspect, Fujine, wouldn't do such an elaborate thing. And there's only one other culprit. Well, what should I do? I don't really care about the bread, but there is one extra person that'll be eating this morning. What would Shiro do? I don't feel like Shiro would do the top one, so let's go to the shopping district. Well, I know who the culprit is. As the one in charge of cooking, I can't allow myself to waste precious time questioning her. Wait, who did we assume was the culprit? I missed, alright. I head to the tofu shop under the clear blue sky. I buy 3 tofu with 300 yen that was on the table. I mean, you can guess Rin or Tosaka, or Tosaka Rin or Saber Rin. Imagine being on for the first name basis with the people who are selling groceries. I get home drinking the soy milk I got as a service from the tofu shop owner. This is perfect. This is a perfect morning with nothing to complain about. I tilt my head in wonder and look up at the sky. A big serving of tofu and a 60 yen soy milk. I don't think good things like this happen that often. I'm sorry, anyone who doesn't like tofu. I slowly walked back and pondered what to do with the tofu for about 20 minutes. It's 8:30 already.
おはようございます、シロ。今朝は随分とゆっくりなのですね。
おはよう、セバ。今日は日曜で学校がないから、その分ゆっくりしていられるんだ。体の調子もいいから、朝飯が終わったら道場に行こう。
ええ、望むところです。ではシロ、半身の麻痺は完治したのですね。
あ、そういえばそうだった。 商店街から気持ちよく散歩できたし、もうほとんど治ってるみたいだ。まあ、まだかすかに重いけど、この分なら明日には治ってる。
それはよかった。マスターが傷を負ったままでは私も立つ瀬がない。シローがいつも通り厨房に立っていると私も安心できます。
I can relax if I see you in the kitchen like always. Right. Shiro already displaying how he's basically everyone's mother. Saber takes a seat in her usual position beside the table. Fujine and Tosaka are sleeping, but since it's Sunday, I should let them sleep in until breakfast's ready.
おはようり。昨夜はゆっくり眠れたようですね。
Oh. Seems Tosaka's awake.
おはよう。別にそうでもなかったんだけどね。日差しは眩しいし、0時過ぎてもゴソゴソやってる奴らはいたし。
Tosaka answers Saber as she goes in the living room. The light was bright and there were people moving around, even past midnight. Sounds like Shiro. Well, I don't want to complain so early in the morning, but I have to know why she took all the bread. The only person who would leave money, right? Saber has no money. My breath stops. Tosaka is wearing something unfamiliar again. He really likes short skirts or what? My heart starts beating rapidly. Because of the red clothes. Oh, it's the red shirt. That's a nice... It hurts my eyes so much that everything I wanted to say escapes my mind. I put the cups in front of Saber and Tosaka, but...
何のんびりしてるのよ。今日は出かけるんだから早く用意しなさい。
Tosaka glares at me as if breakfast can come later.
は？出かけるってどこに？
隣町までよ。本当は遠出したいけど、さすがにそこまでの余裕はないでしょ。だから妥協案ってことで。
Is this some sort of new surprise attack? I don't get what Tosaka wants.
はあ、妥協案は分かったけど、何しに？
何って遊びに行くに決まってるじゃない。デートよ、デート。
デートって誰が誰と？
Imagine being this thick. Date? Who and who?
私とシローが。
It's like, come on, Shiro, we're going on a date. Who are we going on a date with? Like, what? What? Shiro and I, she declares, naturally. After tilting my head in wonder.
デートって俺と遠坂が？
それ以外に誰がいるのよ。昨日の夜そう言ったでしょ。
Hold on. It's so sudden that my mind hasn't caught up yet.
ほら、いいから行くわよ。どうせこんなことだろうと思ってたし、お弁当作っておいたから。はい。シローはこのトートバッグを持ってついてくる。
She hands me a green tote bag and leaves the living room. I stare after her, dumbfounded.
シロー、リンの後を追わなくていいのですか？
ああ、ちょっと待て遠坂。
I quickly start running. I hear another set of footsteps. Saber is following me.
遅い。女の子を待たせるなんてずいぶん余裕があるのね。
I'm not that carefree at all. She doesn't hear me out, and it seems determined that we're going on a date.
いや、だから待てってば。遊びに行くって、どうして？
そういう気分だから。別に構わないでしょ。どうせ昼間は何もしないんだし。今さら逃げるなんて言わせないわよ。
確かに構わないだろうけど、ほら、そうだ、アーチャーはどうするんだよ。あいつだって反対だろう、こういうの。
Sounds like he's desperate to avoid this.
アーチャーは置いてきたわ。今頃私の家で寝てるんじゃないかしら。
I can't beat her. Can't talk Tosaka down by myself. If anyone can stop her,
そうだ、そういえば、セイバーはどうするんだ？
セイバーならいいわよ、同伴しても。
defeated. All my cards are trumped in just one sentence.
いい加減観念した？なら急ぎましょう。今日はマスターの義務なんて忘れて思いっきり遊ぶんだから。
待てたらバカ。
There's no time to be confused. Tosaka grabs my hand and runs out the door. We're not having breakfast, guys. I guess I have to give up. Tosaka is so energetic that I don't think I can beat her, and I'm sure she'll defeat me in an argument even if I say something. And I don't know why, but Saber is following us without complaint. Well, that's good. It's really sunny today. Date time. I'm overwhelmed by the crowd the instant I step out of the bus. The station is filled with people. It's a sunny Sunday morning, so it'd be stranger for it not to be crowded here.
驚いた。休日ともなればこれほど人が集まるのですね。
Saber looks at the town in wonder. Her reaction is to be expected since she has never seen the town in daylight. I'm also stunned by the crowd.
さて、どこから行こうかしらね。二人ともリクエストある？
Kind of funny that it's like there's a massive crowd, and then you look at the background, and you're like, there's not a single person to be, a single soul to be found in the background. All right, but unlike us, Tosca is full of energy.
リクエストって言われても困る。遊び場なんて知らないぞ、俺。
でしょうね。じゃあセイバーはどこか行ってみたいところとかない？
私ですか？いいえ、特に関心のある場所はありません。そもそも私はシローの護衛です。これがリンとシローの休日ならば、私はいないものとして扱ってください。
そう？じゃあ私の好みでいいのね。
Never a good sign to see that face from Rin. Reaction to something you say.
ふん。二人とも意見がないんだから、私の方針には絶対服従ってことでオッケー
？I feel a chill. Tosca's eyes are scary.
ちょっと待て。
See,
物
I
騒
know
な
that
言い方
face.
するな。
I know that face.
大体な、遠坂に付き合うとは言ったけど、デートするとは言ってないぞ。これはあくまでたまには息抜きをしようって3人でだな。
はい、残念。
Uh-huh.
世間じゃそういうのをデートっていうの。ほら、ここまで来たんだからいい加減観念なさい。あんまり往生際が悪いと女の子に嫌われるわよ。
嫌われるって誰に？
さあ、誰でしょう。でもまあ、しぶといってのは長所かな。ね、セイバー。
はい。シローは負けず嫌いですから。戦闘において不屈の精神は心強い。
だってさ、よかったわね、シロ。
Tosca smiles. What is so fun about making fun of me?
さて、それじゃあ手始めにベールデに行きましょうか。二人とも朝食はまだでしょ？軽くお茶した後で店荒らしでもして、とりあえず体を温めよう。
Tosca starts walking. I think Verd is the name of the new department store that opened up.
ほら、のんびりしてると置いてくわよ。モーニングは10時までなんだから、急がないと終わっちゃうじゃない。
I mean, as long as you order before 10. She doesn't stop, even if I stop her. Seems Tosca will not even give me time to calm down. You had like a bus ride. What do you want?
リンが言ってしまいますが。
ああ、もう分かった。こうなったらどこへだって付き合ってやる。
He did say anywhere, right? Like, anyway. I slap myself on the cheeks and summon up some resolve.
行くぞセイバー、はぐれるなよ。
はい。シローこそリンを見失わないように。
We run together. Tosuka doesn't even turn around in the crowded town. It seems she is absolutely certain that we'll follow her. Well, you did. I don't know what you expect, man. So, before I know it, I've fallen into an even more unavoidable situation.
初めに寄った店とは違った雰囲気ですね。リン、ここには何が？
単なる小休憩よ。二人とも疲れてると思ってね。この辺で一服しとかないとゼンマイが切れちゃいそうだから。
確かに目まぐるしい2時間でしたが、休憩を取るほどの運動量では。
そりゃセイバーはね。けど見えないところですっごくすり減ってるものもあるわけ。私たちにとっては普通の床でも、人によっては毒の沼地ってこともあるんだから。ああ、私こっちのバナナパフェね。セイバーはこっちのデビルズサンデーにしときなさい。エミヤくんは甘いの食べる？
Come on, you gotta like sweets, right?
朝からそんなの
Parfait or
食べる
sundae
か。
sounds delicious.
ブレンドでいい。
They were rushing. It's like 11. It's like almost noon, I bet. It's been 2 hours, so they were rushing to get to a breakfast place. That breakfast menu closed at 10. It'd be like lunchtime right now. Or like right before lunch.
あら、男の子。でもいいの？ HP 回復しとかないと大変よ。
I shouldn't even have to say it, but coming here and eating ice cream together would be a whole different dimension. And I have no appetite to begin with. Also, how does a technophobe like her know something like that? Yeah, why does she know anything about HPA?
強情強情っと。ま、それはそれで楽しいからいいけどね。
What do you mean, fun? You smirking red devil? You're the one who should be eating the devil's food Sunday?
シロー、糖分を軽んじてはいけません。リンの言う通り体力を消耗しているのなら、このマンゴーラッシュ&クリームなどいかがでしょう。
Saber nonchalantly recommends me something off the menu.
ええ、大きな声では言えませんが、連日行軍の時など皆に隠れて甘い果物を口にしたものです。もともとはチョコレートなども錬金術から発生したものだとか。
Today I learned that chocolate and other things originated from alchemy. The magical kind, not the real kind.
そりゃ初耳だ。で、セイバー、マンゴーラッシュも試してみたいんだな。
はい。一口ほどいただければ幸いです。
Seems she has some ulterior motives to having him order something off the menu. How very lonely. Saber has already abandoned me to my nervousness and fallen under Tosuka's evil influence.
あら、遠慮しなくていいのよ、セイバー。せっかくだから両方頼んじゃいましょう。
そうしたいのは山々ですが、それでは支払いに無駄が生じる。空腹ならいざ知らず、興味本位で余分な注文をするわけには。
だからその負担がデートの醍醐味なの。こういう場合、エミヤくんは笑顔でおごってくれて、私たちはエミヤくんの器の広さを実感するっていう仕組みなんだから。
Ooh. Oh, Tosuka.
なるほど、素晴らしい。相変わらずリンの采配には驚嘆するばかりです。
Oh boy. This is beyond evil influence. Saber was already an enemy on the same side as Tosuka.
じゃあそういうことで注文確認します。バナナパフェ、デビルズサンデー、マンゴーラッシュとブレンドでよろしいでしょうか、お客様。
Better say something before you get in $500 debt, Shiro.
なんで俺に聞く。いいよ、好きにしろよ。どうせ拒否権ないんだろ。あと、頼むならマンゴーラッシュよりスポンジオレンジの方がいいぞ。
That would probably suit Tosuka and Saber's tastes better.
ではご助言に預かりまして、そのように。エミヤ君のそういうところ大事にしてね。
So began the least relaxing break imaginable. Right. I have to confess, I think I've been nothing but nervous for the first hour. Even by herself, Tosica stands out. Her eye-catching, vivid red clothes and her long, supple black hair. The colors alone catch the eye. But Tosica herself is a flawless beauty. With Saber by her side, it goes without saying that they make a striking pair.
何？人の顔ジロジロ見て。さては緊張解けた？
まあこれだけ好き放題連れ回されればそりゃあな。
Damn, I really hate to admit it, but Tosica's suggestion to take a break was detestably correct.
オッケー。じゃあここからはもうちょいグレード上げていいってことね。
Oh, she was going easy on us, I see. My strongest foe smiles smugly. Honestly, even I can't understand myself. I can fight back to back with her as a master, but now, even the gestures I've gotten used to seeing are making my heart race. It must be that I thoughtlessly got too close to her, and now, it's difficult to begin normal contact this late in the game.
あ、そうだ。せっかくの機会だし、次はあれってみよっと。そういえば、アクセサリーに興味ある？
装飾品ですか。収集家ではありませんが、見ていてつまらないということはありませんが。
なら次はそっち方面のお店に行きましょう。私セイバーにいろいろかけさせてみたかったのよ。
I'm gonna play dress up with Saber? Sounds fun. There's no calming my nerves, her beaming smile is just that dazzling. The unplaceable feeling of impatience and agitation gives me a slight pain in my chest. This is why, instead of a date, I would rather have gone home straight away to work on tactics. So, what kind of magic was cast to make it turn out like this?
笑った笑った。久しぶりにいいもの見せてもらったわ。ほんと。
そうでしょうか。私は判断しかねます。
それがいいんじゃない。まさかメガネ一つであんなにお坊ちゃん風になるとは思わなかったな。シロ、あのメガネ買えばよかったのに。
Tosica must have loved it as she's still laughing. Do you look that good with glasses on? It all happened about 10 minutes ago. I don't know what she was thinking, but Tosica took us to a glasses store and played around by getting Saber to try on glasses. I got involved as well, and one of the glasses just got her laughing. It was a pair of thick, formal glasses that she made me put on.
たく余計なお世話だ。いいか、金輪際メガネなんてかけないからな。ただでさえ童顔なんだから、これ以上ガキに見られてたまるか。
え？ああ、そっか。自覚はあったんだ。けど心配いらないんじゃない？エミヤくん、今のままでも問題ないし。
今のままなんて問題ある。顔は仕方ないけど、もう少しぐらい背が高くならないと困る。
Yeah, being taller would be nice.
あら、エミヤくんの身長平均だと思うけど。
平均なもんか。それに背が高いと踏ん張りが効くだろ。せめて一斉ぐらいは背丈がないとダメだ。
It would be nice to know if you were going to grow taller, or that you were going to grow taller, that is.
それは嬉しいけど、トサカ、その根拠は何だよ。
だって骨格はしっかりしてるんだから、ちゃんと栄養取れば育つでしょ。しっかり光合成してれば白も大きくなれるかなとか。
Right. Shiro is a plant, of course. That makes sense.
どこの葉っぱの話だよ、それ。人をそこいらの花と一緒にすんな。
I was thinking of more like a wheat.
ああ、エミヤくん、もしかして怒っちゃった？
別に話半分に聞いとくよ。
Maybe like
遠坂のお墨付きなら割と期待して良さそうだし。
Some flowerless thorned plant. Brambles of some sort. Seems about like Shiro.
背のことは保証できないけど、きっととびっきりのいい男になるわ。それだけは私の保証付きよ、シロ。
Why does she have to say such an embarrassing thing?
照れてる照れてる。エミヤくん、すぐ顔に出るから好きよ。
She's playing around with me. She's definitely playing around with me.
この性悪。同学年の男からかって楽しいのか、お前は。
I would say probably yes.
もちろん、人によるけど、シロの反応は極上だしね。
God, please show her your wrath with divine punishment. Not just for my sake, but for the sake of all the guys at my school.
と、シロで遊ぶのはこの辺にして、本命に行きましょうか。
Fists her hand and swings it.
ガッキーンって、それ、まさか。
I'm sure of it. She's making that gesture. Would a girl come out and say she wants to go to such a place? Yes, she would.
何って、バッティングに決まってるじゃない、シロ。もしかして知らない？
The former school idol asked me seriously. It's a batting cage, of course. Don't tell me you don't know about it.
そんなわけあるか。いや、俺が言いたいのはだな、バッティングセンターは女の子向けじゃないっていうか。
More bothered that Shiro said that. Saying that, I imagine Tosca's going into the batter's box. She's gonna fucking crush it. Crap, it looks strange, but why does she seem so reliable?
何よ。それなら水族館にでも行く？確かペンギン軍団 vs 北海の巨大アザラシ炎の冷凍3番勝負がやってたはずだけど、見せ物としちゃ三流よ。
Evidently she's been to the aquarium a bunch of times, so she calls one of them a third-rate attraction. I think it's second-rate, but I don't know about going to an aquarium when it's sunny out.
リン、そのバッティングとは何なのですか？
ああ、そうね。セイバーの得意分野よ。時に特訓の一つに挙げられる総合的な身体運動とも言えるわ。
Wow. Tosca's putting it in a ridiculous way. Yeah, an integration of all your physique considered to be training in some cases.
それは聞き捨てなりませんね。
そうそう、気持ちいいからやってみなさい。セイバーなら店の景品を根こそぎ獲得できるってもんよ。
She agitates Saber irresponsibly and starts walking again. Oh boy, we got some stuff's gonna happen. I watch her and then run after her since it can't be helped. There's no point arguing against Tosca's energy. I can't stop her, and I also kind of like being pulled around like this. So, that's what it means. My nervousness went away because it's fun. I was taken to many places without rest, and my anxiety was gone before I knew it. Tosca urges me to go to the next place. I respond reluctantly, and Saber quietly watches over us. It was really fun. The town I only used to walk by. I didn't know all the things I didn't involve myself in were so meaningful. As soon as I think so, something like a cage falls on me and I understand. I don't deserve this. I'm unworthy of all this. It tells me from deep down within me. I'm tired. I never expected to play 5 games with 30 balls each game for a total of 150 swings. It's all because...
なんでしょうか、シロ。そのような目で見られると困ります。
She hated losing.
誤算だったわ。あそこまでセイバーが勝負にこだわるなんて思わなかった。
Jessica sighs next to me. She also.
あら、私は1ゲームだけよ。そんなにバット握ってたら手の皮が荒れちゃうもの。
Plans to play 1 game. said something like playing one game, but ended up playing another game with Saber, and complaining afterwards about how her shoulders and hands were tired.
何言ってんだ。遠坂は2回だけやって、奥でハンドル握ってたじゃないか。俺なんて5回だぞ、5回。しかも最高速度。ああ、手を抜くとセイバーが怒るし、差をつけるとすねるんだからな。地獄のような1時間だった。
すねてなどいません。四郎に対して闘志を燃やしていただけではないですか。そもそも道場での打ち合いに比べれば遊びのようなもの。
納得。セイバー遊びに負けると怒るタイプだったんだ。
I sigh and wobble on. So here's what I found out today. 1. Do not gamble with Saber. 2. A rule where the winner is the one to have 10 more hits than the opponent and can end up in an infinite hell if the ones playing are at about the same level. And lastly, Saber is physically weaker than us if she does not use her magical energy. Or rather, is Tosca the strange one for hitting back 120km/h balls like it's nothing? It's natural since Saber is the smallest one out of all of us, but I guess Tosca is rather strong for a girl.
失礼ね。バッティングはイコール腕力じゃないわ。スイングスピードと命中角度さえ合ってれば、女の子でも打ち返せるわよ。
そりゃ1球や2球はな。問題はその後。普通は腕の筋肉が引きつるって。お前、寝る前に腕立て伏せでもしてんじゃないのか。いや、あれはそうとしか思えないバッティングだったぞ。
My voice is heavy with sarcasm. Do you like do push-ups or something before bed? That's the only thing I can think of. But
してるわよ。何よ、悪い？
of course she does.
いや、ナイス。
She replies like that, so I'm the one who gets beat.
ともかく昼にしよう。もう2時過ぎだろ。いい加減何か食べないとめまいがしてきた。
A family restaurant by the bridge should be a good place around here. There are lots of choices on the menu, so I'm sure Saber won't complain.
大阪もそれでいいよな。別に目当ての店があるってわけじゃないだろ。
I call it Tosca. It's not like you had a plan where to eat, right?
あるわよ。目当ての店ってわけじゃないけど、予定はちゃんと組んであるんだから。
なんだ、そうだったんだ。で、それってどこだよ。
ここ。
は？ここってどこさ？
だからここ。天気もいいし、公園でお昼にするの。
I look around. I don't see any cafe, nor even a hot dog stand.
まさか、出前でも取るつもりか。
あんたね、その朝からずっと持ってる私のトートバッグは何だと思ってるのよ。
Oh. Come to think of it, she did hand me a bag to carry this morning, and you didn't notice for like 4 hours, of course.
その墓となるマスタードの匂い。つまり、これは。
お弁当に決まってるでしょ。それぐらい用意したって言わなかったかしらね、私。
She glares at me. I think she did say something like that.
驚いた。まさかそこまで手が込んでるとは思わなかった。
そんなの当然でしょ。私から誘ったんだから、それなりの準備はしてるわよ。
ああ、これで謎も解けた。遠坂、このために食パンを使ったんだな。
Of course.
いや、てっきり夜中に腹が減ったんで、もしゃもしゃ食っちまったのかと思ってた。一斤丸ごと食うなんて無茶っぽいけど、遠坂ならありかなって。
Imagine just like getting up in the night and being like, I'll have an entire loaf of bread. Or you just eat it whole, you know, just biting off chunks of it. Like, not one of those sliced, like, one you buy from the grocer, a whole loaf. Like the baker's, yeah. Wow, everything's solved now. There's no more worries on my chest now. Yeah, what could have happened to that bread? When I look back up, Tosca is making a scary face.
なんだろう、遠坂。
おしゃべりはそれぐらいにして、 お昼ご飯の準備をしてくれない？道具一式トートバッグの中に全部入ってるから。それと、あんまりもたもたしてると殺すわよ。
はい、努力します。
I quickly make a space on the grass. Man, that was scary. It's bad for my heart to have her say something that doesn't sound like a joke with that big smile. Bad for my heart too, Manchiro. So, apart from needing to tilt my head to see that comfortably, launch starts 2 hours late.
あれ？どうしたのシロ？唐突にぼーっとしちゃって。ああ、もしかして辛いの苦手だった？
He's right next to me. Tosuka says so from a close distance. You're not comfortable with spicy food?
いや、大丈夫。強烈な味付けだけど、うまいぞ、これ。
Wait, she made sandwiches with mustard. How spicy can they be? It's really strong, but this is good. I say so and take another bite.
そう、よかった。サンドイッチをまずく作るのって一種の才能でしょ？もしかしてそういういらないもんまで持っちゃったかと思ったわ。
I was gonna say, how do you screw up a sandwich? Tosuka laughs. If I look spaced out, it's probably because she's dazzling to my eyes. We're eating lunch on the grass under the clear blue sky. It's peaceful enough, but it's too much once Tosuka's added to the picture. My nervousness is returning.
おう、口元にトマトが残ってる。取ってあげよっか？
突然何言い出すんだよ、お前。それぐらい自分で取る。
I wipe my mouth with my sleeve. Crap. Got a red stain on my sleeve now.
あっちゃ、ちょい悪ふざけが過ぎたか。ごめんね。シロがあまりにも予想通りの反応するから、つい面白くって。
Tosuka hands me a napkin. I don't know if she's laughing or apologizing.
いいよ。どうせ今日は一日中こんなもんなんだ。気にしない。
I take the napkin and wet my sleeve with it. The red stain isn't coming out. Are tomatoes really stain that way? I don't know. Looks like Tosuka's using some original sauce. Yeah, that makes more sense. The stain is in there and it doesn't look like it'll come out too easily.
けど今に見てろよ。今日の教訓を生かして、明日からはちょっとやそっとじゃ動じなくなってやる。いいか、いつまでも思い通りになると思うなよ。
へえ、じゃあ明日からは手加減なしでできるわけね。よかった。いい加減猫をかぶるのにも飽きてたところだったんだ。
Oh, it gets worse from here? Hero's in for a tough time. The red devil smiles back. I was getting bored with putting a mask on.
いや、今の取り消し。もうちょっと時間がかかるから、しばらく今のレベルで抑えてくれると助かる。
そう？シローがそう言うならいいけど、レベルアップしたくなったら教えてね。遠慮なく叩きのめしてあげるから。
くそ、いつか帰り討ちにしてやる。
I'm not making excuses, but it sounds like an excuse. It's somehow really vexing, so I decide to take it out on the sandwich in front of me. I eat the sandwiches. Tosuka's blushing over how he eats the sandwiches. What? I was hungry, and it's Tosuka's handmade meal, so I'm going to eat all of it myself. Well, alright, Saber already ate about a third of it. So, Saber and I munch down the sandwiches. Tosuka must be full as she just stares at us.
体の調子良さそうじゃない。これなら午後は遠慮なく引っ張り回しても良さそうね。
She makes an evil smile again. That smile. She's more looking forward to seeing me worn out than what she's actually going to do.
甘く見るな。この程度引っ張り回されたぐらいで値を上げるもんか。昨日ならいざ知らず、今日はずっと調子がいいんだから。
そうなんだ。ならもう大丈夫かな。
I could use the sandwich. Tosuka sighs with relief and reaches out for a sandwich. As if she's saying her burden's gone now. The moment I wonder why she said that. Everything fits together. Come to think of it, it was really unnatural. The reason Tosuka came to my house. Archer knew about my body. He must have heard that I projected his swords and knew that there's something wrong with my body. That's fine. But Archer, the one who wasn't there at the time, knew about the projection because Tosuka told him about it. Then, as Tosuka told Archer about our battle against Castor, wouldn't Archer tell Tosuka about the penalty on my body?
遠坂、
何？
お前、なんだって昨日うちに来たんだ。しかも泊まっていくなんておかしいぞ。昨日は藤姉にかき回されて気がつかなかったけど。
A brief moment. I hear Tosuka gasp.
なんでって、別に理由はないけど、昨日のはただの気まぐれよ。たまにはああいうのもいいかなって。
そうか。確かに昨日は賑やかで楽しかった。
でしょ？
うん。何もなかったけど、ありがとう。
Now we're making Tosuka blush. We're doing it on purpose now. Wow. She turned red in an instant.
何勘違いしてんのよ。私は別にシロを気遣ったわけじゃなくて。
I wasn't concerned about you. Yeah, Keep going.
協力者が減るのはマイナスだもんな。だから様子を見に来たんだろ。
そうよ。よくわかってるじゃない。
ああ。けど、たとえそうでも感謝してる。遠坂が何企んでいたかは知らないけど、気を使ってくれたことだけは絶対なんだからな。
She groans in dissatisfaction. Her gesture is so cute, it makes me want to smile. Oh, it makes him smile. Damn. I misread that.
そっか。
I kind of understand how Tosuka feels. Feels really great embarrassing someone you like. The weather changes once we finish lunch. The sky is filled with clouds and it looks like it could start raining at any moment now.
仕方ないか。傘もないし、今日はもう帰りましょう。
There's no objection. We don't have any umbrellas, let's go home. It's Tosuka who started this, so it's her duty to finish it as well. Looks like there's a face in that cloud. We get off the bus. It's about to start raining when we reach from the familiar intersection.
今日は楽しかった？
Right when we start to head home, Tosuka suddenly asks that question. You have fun today? I don't even need to answer. It was fun. It's like I got thrown in the washing machine and turned around and around. I feel like my nervousness got washed away along with the dirt. But
どうなの？楽しかった？シロ。
ああ、参った。こんなに遊んだのは久しぶりだ。よくもあそこまで振り回してくれたな。
the more fun it is, the more awkward I get, feeling that such a thing is more than I deserve.
そう。シロが何を考えているか知らないけど、楽しいんなら素直に楽しいって言いなさいよ。ここまでエスコートした私に失礼じゃない。
いや、そんなつもりじゃなくてだな。
あるわよ。あんた無意識にブレーキかけちゃってるもの。前に何があったか知らないけど、そんなに辛いことだったらいっそ忘れた方が楽じゃないの？
Interesting. The fact that we made it all the way home. We walk from here. If you recall, in the anime, they get stopped on the bridge by a caster. We're well across the bridge. This is the intersection where we can walk to school from, or to Rin's house, or to our house, or to Sakura's house. My breath stops. It feels like she stuck a knife into my wound with amazing precision.
それは
さあ、私の知ったことじゃないわ。まあ、当初の目的は果たしたし、あとはそっちの問題か。
With her hair trailing behind her, Tosuka heads to the hill road. Not towards the Western-style houses, but to the Japanese-style houses. I stand there in a daze.
シロ、家に帰らないのですか？じき雨が降ってきますが。
ああ、そうだな。行こう。
Being urged by Saber, I start off. As soon as I return to my place, I feel something really strange. Nothing is missing, but a sense of nothing being right assails me. The two make difficult expressions. The same goes for me as well. This feeling, it's like always, but something important is stripped off. The thing missing from this place, it's my boundary field my father set up. The boundary field to notify us of intruders has been cut off by force.
誰かが留守中に押し入ったみたいね。出かけてたのは幸いか。
Not good.
シロ、タイガは？
My anxiety rising, I begin to run. There's no time to think.
待ちなさい。中にまだ敵がいるかもしれないじゃない。
I hear a sound. The instant I open the door, I can feel the stagnation in the air. The remains of the intrusion. The air is heavy like silk with just a small amount of filth. I run in with my shoes on. I don't have time to take them off, and I don't have the composure to even consider such a thing. Tosuka and Saber are running behind me. I don't even look at them and head straight to the living room. I run into the living room. The lights are turned off. Under the gray sky, the dark room contains...
このまま連れ去ろうと思ったのに、いいタイミングで現れるのね、坊や。
Interesting. We meet her here. Fujine, standing unconscious, and an enemy called Caster.
キャスター。
I hear Saber's voice from behind me. The two stop when they see Caster. It must be because Fujine is held as a hostage. Caster will cast a spell if Saber or Tosuka attack her. It will be faster than anyone here. Even if Saber charges, even if Tosuka casts the spell, Caster's finger will light up faster than anything. Their position. If Caster would do that, his face will explode like a tomato. Fujine's face, I assume. My mind freezes. I'm angry. I'm so mad my vision's about to turn red. But my mind is objective. Never knew that you could get calm if anger passes a certain level.
武勇人よ坊や。魔術師であるのなら、結界にはもっと力を入れないと。
She laughs. I take it like it's happening to someone else.
首相な心がけねえキャスター。自分からこっちの陣営にやってくるなんて降伏宣言のつもり？
ええ、似たような要件よ。もっとも許しを請うのはあなたたちの方でしょうけど。
The voice is enough to create sparks between. Tosuka glares at Caster and does not do anything. Fujine's life will end if she moves. Tosuka's going to move. I'll something Tosuka before Caster will.
で、人質を取って何をするっていうのよ、あんた。
あなたに用はないわ。関心があるのはそこの坊やよ。
All right.
ねえ、 私が持ちかけた話をまだ覚えていて。
The event at the temple. Castor told Archer and me to be her subordinate.
あんたまだ懲りずにそんなこと。
Tosaka is angry. That's surprising. Archer told Tosaka about it, huh?
懲りる？そうね。本来なら一度断った人間に関心なんて持たない。けれど、それも相手によるのよ、お嬢さん。
Castor's watching me, as if saying she's not interested in Tosaka.
あなたは面白いわ、坊や。聖杯戦争は今回で5回目。そのいずれもあなたのようなケースはなかったでしょう。殺してしまうのは簡単。けれどせっかくの貴重なサンプルだもの。できれば殺さずに手に入れたい。分かって？こんな無粋な真似をするのもあなたを生きたまま仲間にしたいからなのよ。
That means you'll kill. You will kill. I refuse. You're gonna kill her if we refuse?
私は主の命に背いてここまで来た。そこまであなたを評価しているのだから、こちらの熱意も信用できるのではなくて？
何勝手なこと言ってんのよ。マスターに黙って好き勝手やってるやつが。
嵐と？でも残念。悪いけどあなたに興味はないの。魔術師としては優秀みたいだけど、私には到底及ばないわ。その点そこの坊やは理想的よ。魔術師として未熟だもの。御するのはたやすいですし。
At least she's not lying to anyone's face, right? Right? She's being honest, I guess. Like a certain president. Yeah, they're being sort of. Well, actually, she's being more honest because she's actually telling the truth and not liking bullshit up. Like some people perceive a certain president. Castor urges for my reply while digging her fingers into Fushine's neck.
困った子ね。悩むことなどないでしょうに。聖杯を手に入れるのは私以外にない。この町はとっくに私のものだもの。いくらあなたのセイバーが優れていようと、無尽蔵の魔力を持つ私を倒すことはできないわ。
No, Archer almost one-shot you, so I don't know about that. Saber's presence moves. She's ready to fight. She'll charge at Castor if she sees an opening.
だから無駄なのよ、セイバー。いいこと？ここでこうしている私でさえ影に過ぎない。私の力の供給源は町に住むすべての人間。1000人単位でマスターを持っているようなものよ。それがどういうことか分かって？
貴様、まさか。
そう。魔力のない人間でも魂そのものは別でしょ？私たちはもともとソウルイーターだもの。マスターから命という魔力を奪えば、いくらでも魔力は引き出せる。あなたのその怪物じみた宝具も、今の私なら何度だって扱えるわ。
An unlimited source of energy. Magical energy she sucks out of everybody in this town. That's why she's going to win? She's saying that she's invincible because she controls innocent people? Like, it's the same. She's saying she'll laugh on top of others' sacrifices. The firing hammer rises. Heat returns to my calm mind.
さあ、答えを聞かせて、エミやシロ。あなたに勝ち目はないわ。セーバーと共に私に従ってくれるかしら。
藤姉を話せ。
話を聞いてなかったのかしら。私に下りなさいと言ったのよ。
Oh, hey Shadow, how's it going?
うるさい。藤姉を話せ。
This scene's playing out interestingly. We're getting very similar dialogue to what we got in the anime, but it's taking place in Shiro's home instead. There's no, like, interruption with the bus. Nothing else. Oh, cool, cool. Almost done the ladder. I have nothing to give to her. A gritting sound. Castor grits her teeth in annoyance and sighs as if to calm herself down.
わかったわ。交渉は決裂というわけね。聖杯を手に入れられるマスターは一人だけだもの。
違う。聖杯とかそういうのは関係ない。俺はお前とは組まないだけだ。
そう。嫌われたものね、私も。
There's no sarcasm in her voice. There's only anger.
本当に残念。あなたを気に入っていたという気持ちに嘘はなかっただけにね。
Yeah, I got about 6 hours in the raids. Killed the boss like, I don't know, 20, 30 times. Went pretty well. I was planning on doing a bit more today and saw that there was about 1 million lives left, so based on how fast the boss had previously died, I was thinking that I'd have time to get like another hour or so in after my lunch. And I went and had lunch and 1 million lives disappeared in like an hour. After the boss had been up for like 24 hours already. Or he was up like 20... He was up like 28 hours. I was expecting it to be like consistent. Seems like people saw how low it was and just finished him off. But I got most of the points. I think I'm at like 1.3, 1.4-ish. I don't really need anything else, so it's gonna be points till we hit about 1.8, and then probably currencies to make sure we get everything we wanted. Kinda glad I didn't like tunnel into one currency super hard like I sometimes do during events. You're thinking they might be like, I know they kind of put them on rails, right? They kind of like make sure the event ends when they want it to end instead of going on and on. They might have had like a predetermined end time for the raids, and they're just like, yeah, we're gonna drop these.
もしあなたが私に協力してくれたなら、聖杯を分けてあげてもよかったの。
それこそ余計なお世話だ。俺はお前みたいなやつを止めるために戦うって決めたんだ。聖杯なんて関係ない。そんなことより、藤根を話せ。
Yeah, I got that impression in the Summer 2 races, considering how basically every single one of them was insanely close, no matter what people did. Like, the rate at which things increase and decrease doesn't always conform to peak hours, when you'd kind of expect like peak farming hours to be at certain points. I mean, they're all within a reasonable threshold though. Like when people were tunneling Nero, she won all but one of them. She actually lost one of them, but they were all like super. Every single one of them, all the racers were super close. Like Nero won by a little bit, and like all of them but one, and then the other one. I'm thinking like they rubber band them together, that the race ends in a reasonable amount of time. It's like they also don't let the last 3 end, right? I did a mix. I wasn't really cheering for anyone in particular. I mean, if I was cheering for someone, I'd probably be the boring team cheering for Nero and Saber Alter. My second favorite was I liked Nobu. I actually rolled on the day you could get Saber or get Nobu Berserker, because she was pretty cool. That event, MHX. That was MHX and Nobu. I remember that. That was a team because they got shot down when they tried to just fly with a rocket ship. They're like, no, it's a race. We're going to build a rocket ship. And then Ishtar shoots them down and says, you have to drive with wheels. Emiya's back to Emiya. I glare at Castor. Taking my stare full of enmity, Castor. Of course she laughs in my face. Laughs for some reason.
お前
あら気に障った？けどあなたも悪いのよ。心にもないことを口にするから。
My throat clogs up. Wait, what did he say? I didn't say anything against what I believe in.
聖杯なんて関係ない？本当にそうなのかしらね。あなたは聖杯の犠牲者ですもの。聖杯なんて関係ない。そう言葉にする時点で、あなたは聖杯を憎んでいるのではなくて？
That instant, my mind freezes.
シロ
I don't understand anything since my mind's frozen. Not even Tosaka, who's watching me with worry, not even Saber, who looks down painfully. Not even the nausea that fills me up.
知ってるわよ、エミヤシロ。前回の戦いは10年前だったんですって？その時にあなたは全てを失った。炎の中に一人取り残され、死を待つだけだったあなたは、エミヤキリツグに拾われた。
I like how much Castor knows. Like, he wasn't even here during this time period, but she manages to figure out all of this on her own. That's a very she's a very resourceful person. She's like setting up defenses, going out, capturing people, and somehow also has time to do like a shit ton of research into what people were doing 10 years ago during the previous Holy Grail Wars, despite like has no records of that. What is she doing? Like using magic to peer into the past to see what people were doing? Be like researching stuff in the archives of the local newspaper?
だから本当はこの家の子供じゃないのよ、あなたは。にもかかわらず、なりたくもない魔術師にさせられて、今まで苦しんできたんでしょ?
Yeah, she has an unnatural amount of insight. Or she also seems to have like worked out how the Grail system, the whole Holy Grail War system works too, right? As we'll find out later. I assume that that point stays the same, where she's like, oh yeah, I just dissected the system and found a shortcut to accessing the Grail before everyone dies. Or like, before the war is complete.
嘘。エミヤ君、今の話。
そう。あなたにとって聖杯は憎むべき敵だった。そんなあなたがこの戦いに参加するなんて皮肉な話ね。あなたの気持ちはわかるわ。誰だって不当に自身の幸福を奪われては恨まずにはいられない。ええ。私が気に入ったのはそういうエミヤシロウの過去よ。あなたには復讐の資格がある。聖杯を手に入れて10年前の清算をする権利がある。だからあなたを仲間にしてあげてもいいと思った。
And now she's like trying to I'm not sure what she's trying to do here. She's trying to use like the fire to like pull Emiya to her side by saying maybe we can work together to obtain the Grail. I don't think he's sold on that. Like he just hates her, people, anyone like her. Which she somehow doesn't seem to have any insight on.
私だって戦いを望んではいない。だって殺し合いなんて馬鹿らしいでしょ。聖杯に無限の富があるのなら、いくら分けてもそこは尽きないはず。なら信用に足る者たちなら聖杯を共有してもいいのではなくて?
He's probably not telling a lie. Castor must seriously think so. I guess if it's infinite, you can split it infinite times and still be infinite. I do not think. See, all that insight, and it just like disappears when she's like, take revenge. It's like, that's not what... She has insight on everything that happened in the past. and the current state of things, but doesn't have insight on people, like namely Shiro.
聖杯は私の手にあるも同然。あなたの願いを叶えてあげることぐらい造作もないわ。
よまいごとだキャスター。サーバントが最後の一人になるまで聖杯は現れない。そのような名言で私のマスターを侮辱するな。
いいえ、戦わなくとも聖杯が手に入る方法はあるのよ、セイバー。他のサーバントには無理でも、キャスターである私には聖杯のからくりは読み取れる。そうね、膨大な魔力出力を誇るあなたが手を貸してくれるなら、今からでも聖杯を呼び出すことは可能でしょう。
See, wouldn't that be like everything Shiro's supposed, like you're supposed to want? The war ends, nobody else has to die? Sounds like a good offer in theory, right? Creates a crack in Saber's resolve. It's because Saber feels that Castor is telling the truth. I mean, she's not lying.
さあ、これが最後よ、坊や。無益な戦いは避けたいのでしょう。なら私に従いなさい。セイバーを私に渡し、あなたが私に協力するというのなら、聖杯はあなたたちに預けるわ。
Although, whether or not you can trust Castor, she hasn't lied, but she's also, not someone who you'd immediately think is trustworthy. The final negotiation. Saber is perplexed. It's because unavoidable battles should be avoided, and it will be best if the Holy Grail can be obtained that way. And besides, the enemy has Fujine's life in her hands. I do not know why they have this dash here. It is so weird. There's only one answer. Even Tosca is biting her lips as if she's given up. I immediately save the game, because one of these is clearly the wrong choice. Okay, so if we cheat ourselves a little bit and recall, he tells her off in the anime, so we're gonna see what happens when we obey. Let's see how this goes. I nod. We'll do whatever she says. Let's just see what happens. She seems trustworthy, right? Right? The person taking hostages, perfectly trustworthy. You know, there'll be plenty of time to free Fujine. We just gotta cooperate. I mentally apologize to Tosaka, who's staring at me, and obey Castor. Saber looks away at my choice. Tosaka doesn't say anything. We promise to beat Castor together, but she doesn't yell at me and just bites her lip.
賢い選択ね、坊や。ええ、それでこそ聖杯に選ばれたマスターよ。初めから勝ち目のない戦いですもの。Oh
shit. I wasn't counting sentences, my bad. Castor raises her arm. The fingers that were grabbing Fujine's neck go for my heart.
待て。お前の言いなりになる前に一つ約束させろ。
いいわ。立場が分かってないようですけど、聞くだけは聞いてあげる。どんな見返りが欲しいの、坊や。
遠坂のことだ。お前の口ぶりじゃ遠坂を殺したがってるみたいだからな。こいつが自分の家に戻るまで決して手出ししないと約束しろ。
We're perfectly fine, guys. She only wants to, like, rip out our command seals by destroying all the nerves in our body. We'll be fine. Or something to that matter. Who knows? She seems like a trustworthy face. The hood doesn't make her sketchy at all. We'll be fine. The purple-robed figure stares at me without moving.
何？どんな売り込みをするかと思えば、そんなどうでもいいことで私に従うなんて。素敵よ、坊や。こんなに笑ったのは何年ぶりかしらね。
何がそんなにおかしいの、キャスター。確かにバカみたいな条件だけど、あんたに白を笑い物にする資格なんてないわ。
そうね、お嬢さん。坊やを笑い物にできるのはあなただけよ。だからこそ今の条件は受け入れる価値がある。よくてよ。ここで殺してしまうつもりだったけど、特別に生かしてあげる。私の協力者のたっての願いですもの。聞き届けてあげなくてはかわいそうだわ。
The Magus laughs. Glaring at her, Tosaka slowly retreats.
遠坂。
さよなら。元からこうなる予定だったし、次に会うときは敵同士ね、エミヤ君。
Really? But the war will be over. It'll all be good. I hear her leaving footsteps. Before they disappear,
さあ、茶番はここまでよ、坊や。
the Magus finger cuts out my mind. All of a sudden, didn't even get to read the sentence. I'm in a deep darkness. I don't know how many hours have passed. I'm trying to count to keep track of time, but I can't think of any number above 10. Everything is vague. I don't feel my limbs, and it's calm as if I'm floating on water. Algae must have filled up my skull, and I want to laugh at this darkness. Saber looks away every time I see her. I think we obtained the Holy Grail quite some time ago. But she doesn't seem happy at all, and she repeats, I'm sorry, every time I see her.
気分はどうしろ。あなたのおかげで手に入った聖杯ですもの。欲しいものがあったら言ってちょうだい。セイバーでもあの子でも好きなものを作ってあげるわ。
Something I want. Something I want. Nothing comes to mind. I've never wanted anything, and even if I did want something, it does me no good now. If anything, I want a colder place. A deep darkness that will freeze the algae in my skull and make me want to start dancing.
久しぶりね、エミヤ君。ようやく見つけてあげられた。
I hear a familiar voice.
キャスターの言った通りね。あなたは私を逃がすためにそうなった。だから、今のあなたを見て笑ってあげられるのは私だけよ。
I try to raise my hand to greet her, but I can't find my hand. I recall an embryo in a test tube. I'm floating in water. I don't feel my limbs.
笑い飛ばしてあげる。悪い夢はここで終わりよ、シロ。
Oh, the water's flowing out. My floating body rolls on the ground. A warm darkness that washes out the algae in my skull and makes me want to go crazy. Surprising literally no one. That wasn't the right choice. We're here for the Tiger Dojos. Let's see.
お
Oh,
知らせ。
Kika.
今回のタイガー道場は師範代が誘拐中のためお休みです。
Ah, we usually see Taiga here, and she's completely gone because she just got captured by Caster. That's a new one.
次回新シリーズ魔法のフジネマジカルタイガーにご期待ください。
Wait, really? Really? It's like ultra short? Wow, okay, okay. It was a laugh. That was a decent dojo. They didn't even like comment on the fact that we died or anything. They're just like, yeah, we can't do anything. Fusion is captured. It's just like the most obvious you screwed up because they don't even comment on it. Oh my goodness. It's almost better that they just skipped it and they're just like, yeah, screw you. No advice, no help corner. Like, figure it out for yourself. Alright. So, back to our initial question. We refuse.
断る。お前の話には乗らない。
I'm still laughing over that. They're just like, you know, we can't host one of these. Fushine has been captured. I won't cooperate with you. I say to the Magus without looking away. 3 people gasp. Nobody here expected me to reply like that. After what happened the last time, I'm kind of surprised. They were all like kind of shocked we picked Obey, and now they're kind of shocked we picked telling her off. I guess we should have tried something else, like throwing a knife at her or something.
あなた正気？自分がどんな立場にいるか分かっていて。
ああ、お前の言い分は分かった。確かに正しいことを言ってると思う。
Like what is it? Is it where Christopher Walken? The scene where the guy's like, put your hands up, and he's like, I refuse. I have a gun. I don't care. We're like exactly in that scene. I have a hostage. And if battles can be avoided, they should be avoided. And if the Holy Grail can be shared, it should be shared. But
けど、人を無差別に襲っている魔女には協力しない。お前の言い分は正しいけど、その手段は間違ってる。
see, you're right, but the method is wrong. Can't help out someone who's attacking people indiscriminately. And I still don't know how Medei doesn't figure that one out. She's gotten everything else right.
それにもう一つ。俺は無理やり魔術師になったんじゃない。自分から進んで親父の後を継いだんだ。
He didn't imply he was forced, she just became, but alright.
それをお前にとやかく言われる筋合いはない。
I'm not gonna complain.
そう。
That was a fun ending, even if it was
なら
really
あな
short.
たはいらないわ。ここで消えてしまいなさい。
Caster's voice fills with intent to kill. Huh, I see. Then I don't want you. You can die here. Alright. At the same time, Saber gets ready to attack. And
動くな、セイバー。
I stop her with all my might.
頼む。動かないでくれ、セイバー。遠坂もだ。今は動くわけにはいかない。
She'll be killed if any one of us moves. I'll lose the person that was with me until now. A person that's like an older sister to me. I can't allow that.
シロですがバカならどうして断ったりしたのよ。
Yeah, what is our plan? The two stop at least. I take a step towards Caster as if to hide them.
あら、全くの考えなしかと思ったけど、自分の立場ぐらいは理解していたようね。
Caster smiles once again. Alright. Her arm. Her left arm that was carrying Fujine points slowly at me.
卑怯者無抵抗のシロを殺すつもり。
I mean, her plan isn't really to kill us. We kind of know that now.
命まで取りはしませんよ。坊やにはマスターで亡くなってもらうだけ。一つしか残っていないようだけど、その霊樹を渡しなさい。私の仲間にはならない。けれどこの娘は救いたい。そういうのなら、それぐらいの覚悟はあったのでしょ？
Saber gasps. I apologize to Saber in my mind and take another step towards Caster.
わかった。けど、どうやって霊樹を渡せばいい？
This again.
人に渡す方法なんて俺は知らない。
シロ、ダメだ。そんなことをしても。
そうね。 邪魔が入らなければ移植はできるのだけど、ここでは望めそうにない。落ち着ける場所に移動しないと移植は無理でしょう。だから皮ごと剥ぎ取りなさい。ここで。
Ah, just cut off that arm. Sounds about good. Even trade. He'll be fine. Cut off that arm. The Black Witch says so with a smile.
ここまでです。シロ、タイガのことは諦めてください。これ以上キャスターの思い通りにはさせられない。
At this point, you're like, oh, I can't really negotiate dying for someone else, but Shiro would probably be okay with that if that was what he thought we would get. At least I feel it's what he'd
私も
get.
同意見よ。だいたいあいつが人質を解放する玉かっていうの。一度言いなりになったら最後まで利用されるだけよ。
I did have that impression, and our previous choice definitely confirmed that she'll use you to the very end if you obey her. Yeah? Really screw you up. Sounds good. The two have a point, so I can only apologize to them in my head.
持っていけ。これでいいんだろ
I raise my left arm. Caster should be able to cut off my left arm along with the command spell with one word.
シロ、ダメだ。
なんだってのよあんたは。そこまでして他人を助ける必要はないでしょ。
That is like 100% in Shiro's wheelhouse. He would definitely do that.
ある。この程度で藤姉が助かるなら、そんなの考えるまでもない。
I point my left arm at Caster.
いいわ。こちらに来なさい、エミやシロ。何を企んでいるかは知らないけど、どんな奇襲より私の指の方が早いのだから。
Caster still must not trust me. I should put some distance between us. I walk to her. Caster's right in front of me, and the other two are far away from me. I walk to the place where I won't be able to get away. Hold out my arm. The Black Witch watches me in astonishment. I'm glad we're amusing someone, right?
驚いたわ。大した善人ね、坊や。いいわ。あなたの誠意に免じて、この女は返してあげる。
How generous. Her robe flutters. Caster keeps a hold of Fujine with her left hand and takes out a strange dagger with her right.
お笑い草ね。これなら手間をかける必要もなかった。本当にバカな子。目障りだからあなたみたいなお人よしは死んでしまいなさい。
She swings her dagger. It goes not for my arm, but my heart, and
キャスター。
she explodes. Saber charges in with such speed that I thought she exploded. Speed must have been faster than Caster expected, as her dagger is repelled. Caster retreats, and Saber follows her. She must have figured out that she can't get away.
そうなら。
Smiling happily, Caster puts power into her right hand and
やめてくれ、サイバー
I pray from the bottom of my heart and reach out with my left hand. Arm.
シ
Whatever.
ロ、レイジオ。
Saber stops. Her movements are stopped by the absolute obedience enforced by the command spell. There. The dagger is stabbed as easily as making footprints in the snow. We know how this one goes, don't we? It feels like time has stopped. Saber is looking down at her chest in blank amazement.
キャスター、貴様。
そう。これが私の宝具よ、セイバー。何の殺傷能力もない。儀礼用の鍵に過ぎない。
That is a hell of an awkward noble phantasm. A lot of setup to use if you're like not a melee fighter. It's like land a dagger strike on someone as a non-melee.
けれど、これはね、 あらゆる契約を覆す裏切りの刃。あなたもこれで私と同じ。主を裏切り、その剣を私に預けなさい。
Red light erupts. Magical energy flows out like tumbling water. It spreads through Saber's body, destroys every rule controlling her, and the connection between Saber and me is completely cut. Saber crumples onto the floor. There's a mark like a bruise on her forehead. I see 3 marks appearing on Caster. The command spell to control the servants. What used to be on me, the proof of being Saber's master, is on her arm now.
驚いたかしら？これが私の宝具、ルールブレイカー。
Just slightly better than it is in Grand Order, right? Instant mind control of anyone you hit with it. Well, allegiance, forcible allegiance swap.
この世界にかけられたあらゆる魔術を無効化する裏切りと否定の剣。
A sword of betrayal and negation which nullifies any magic in this world. If nothing else, being able to negate magic with a sword is kind of handy. Saber is moaning on the floor, as if fighting against a poison that entered her.
あんた、サーバントのくせにサーバント。
ええ、使い魔にしたのよ、お嬢さん。これで計画通り。
Translator's note. Kaikaku means plant.
エミやシローはマスターではなくなり、セイバーは私のものになった。
I wonder how many people who listen to this will get.
この娘さえ手中に収めてしまえば、恐れるものは何もない。そうよ。あのバーサーカーが私を襲おうと関係ない。
Wasn't counting it. Caster laughs, picks up Fushine.
ほら、返してあげるわ、おバカさん。大事な人なんでしょ？なら死んでしまわないように、最後まで頑張らないとダメよ。
Fushine's body floats up. She goes through the air as if being pulled by an invisible arm. I catch her at once. There's no reply, but her body is warm. Fujine is unconscious, but she's still breathing and unwounded. Could be worse, right? I sigh with relief.
満足したかしら？約束だものね。その娘は助けてあげる。それに、そうね、あなたも見逃してあげましょう。先ほどの見せ物、頭にくるぐらい素敵だったから。けれど。
そう。まあ、そういう流れになるわよね、普通。
ええ、戯れはここまでよ、お嬢さん。さあ、セイバー。アーチャーのマスターを仕留めなさい。
Resting?
邪魔をするようなら、あなたのマスターだった子も殺していいわ。
ふざけるな。誰が貴様などに。
Saber glares at Caster while on her knees. Ridiculous. Who would obey you?
いいえ、従うのよ、セイバー。あなたはもう私のもの。この霊樹がある限り、身も心も私には逆らえない。
This is actually a really long scene. Wow. Saber's voice fills with pain. But on the other hand, Saber's body slowly gets up against her will. Saber's body moves. He charges at Tosuka with the same speed as before, and she thrusts her sword. I feel a dull pain on my shoulder. I feel the steel stabbed into my shoulder. The sword that should be invisible is outlined in my blood.
バカ、なんで。
I hear Tosca's voice from behind me, but I can't do anything, no matter what she says. It's just that my body moved on its own, and most of all, I didn't want to see Saber attack Tosca. I didn't want to see it, so I just placed myself in between them. My body twitches. Saber's sword hasn't stopped yet. It rips into my flesh and grates against my collarbone. The sword will eventually cut the arteries in my neck and kill me. That is not good. I'm still holding on to Fujine. At least he's acknowledged he's in trouble for once. Tosaka's behind me as well.
残念。もったいないわね。その子には興味があったのだけれど。
Oh, far away. Castor's saying something.
霊樹に従いなさい、セイバー。そのままもろとも切り落とせば、二人減るわ。
A cold-hearted order. Follow the command spell, Saber. Just slash them both. With sounds as if opposing it, Saber's arm shakes and stops.
バカな。セイバーの対魔力は霊樹の縛りにさえ抗うというの。
Magic resistance is a good skill, everybody. Castor is astonished. Saber looks down and bites her lip and desperately pulls back her sword.
言って。
She moans in despair. Rip. Saber hangs her head and cries.
逃げて。シロ。
Saber pleads with so much effort she might cough up blood.
シロ、来なさい。
I got some nice metaphors in this, man. You're like, I've never heard that metaphor before. Like, I know it's because it's a translation, but it's like, I've never heard that metaphor, but it's actually decent. Like, or like, good. Some of them are actually really good. This one, you're like, yeah, it's solid.
待て、父さん。
Not using some, like, weird in-universe lingo. It's like something you could possibly hear someone come up with. You just haven't heard it before. Like, there's a lot of common sayings in books and stuff. I run, my arm pulled by Tosaka. The wound on my shoulder is so hot that my mind's not working. But I have Fujine in my arms, and I've accepted that running away is the only option. No. I have no choice but to accept it. What a contradiction. She threw away her pride as a swordsman and told me to run away. To honor her wish is the greatest help I can provide for her. But on the other hand, ignoring her tears and running away means losing her. Isn't this this is interesting? No, Archer doesn't show up to save them? Our breath is ragged. This is Tosaka's house, but if I recall. I don't know where we ran, but the familiar Western-style mansion is before me.
シロ、こっち。意識はある？まだ歩ける？
I run, being pulled by someone, right? Like in the anime, like they're fighting on the bridge, and then Archer comes in and saves them, and that's when they escape. Here it's like Saber resists it, and they just run away. My body is strangely light. I must have gotten lighter after losing the things within me, or I just feel nothing. The only weight I feel is the body of Fujine in my arms. Can't see well. I'm not sure where I'm walking, nor what I'm doing.
藤村先生はそこに寝かせて。ちょっと聞いてるの、シロ。いいから、ここなら安全だから手を離しなさいっての。
Someone takes away the person in my arms. The important weight disappears. At the same time, my body becomes heavy. The light body turns into iron, and I fall, unable to keep myself up. That is a lot of
ハチャ、
adrenaline.
急いで。手当てをするから私の部屋に。
I hear someone's voice. My body is heavy and hot. I imagine turning red. Does it get this hot when you put steel in fire to make a sword? The heat gradually goes away as time passes. A room I don't know. I stare at the ceiling with a boiling head. That's the only thing I can do. It seems I'm lying on a bed.
私じゃ治せない。この傷じゃこれ以上は戦えないでしょうけど。もうマスターじゃないんだから戦う理由もないか。
A calm voice, unlike before. The person that brought me here, treat my wound.
ここまでね。シローはもう戦わなくていいわ。
She says those words. I try to say something, and my vision turns black. My eyelids fall. Anesthesia causes my body to fall asleep. I feel someone leaving, and hear the sound of the door closing. My consciousness turns off at that moment. Interlude 11.1. Unlimited Bladeworks. The sun sets. The sun, which wasn't even visible, sets, and the dark sky gets even darker.
そうか。セイバーが奪われたか。
That's the only response Archer gave. I see. So Archer got taken away. His master, Hosuka Rin, simply stated the facts, but he states it even more matter-of-factly.
それだけ？これでキャスターの下にいるサーバントは2人よ。何か他に感想はないの？
I mean, if you can accumulate servants to fight for you, that's a pretty good strategy.
ああ、これといった打開策は思いつかないな。だが、奴の宝具が判明しただけでも良しとするべきだ。サーバントとマスターの契約を断つか。事前にそれを知っておけば、うまくことを運べるだろう。
それはそうだけど。ずいぶん無関心なのね、ハーチャー。あなた、セイバーに肩入れしてたんじゃないの？
そんな素振りを見せたつもりはないが、何をもってそう思う、リン。
そうね。女の勘で納得できる？
却下だ。女という年か君は。まず色気が足りない。
Back to Archer and Rin's banter. Isn't it great?
優雅さも不足だ。おまけにあ、これが致命的なのだが、とにかく可愛さが分かりづらい。
It's like every single thing is every line he has an insult. Lack of elegance, not old enough to be a woman. Lack enough charm. Charm is hard to understand.
なんだ、ようやく調子出てきたわね、あんた。
Of course, Rin just brushes it off with the, "Oh, you're finally back to par now." Smiles pleasantly. Archer has to be like this. An unemotional person isn't the partner Rin trusts. Her partner has to always be composed, has to speak cynically against anyone. Rin knows that this is the kindness of this knight. That is the kindness of this knight. Cynical as all hell. He's fucking cynical. Alright, my man. Speaking cynically is like indirectly telling others to fix that part of them.
そう。じゃあ、確証その1。
That's the first positive thing I've ever heard about people being cynical. Cynical people. It's usually just people whining, and it's like, oh, they're telling you to fix something. You know, it's like an honest opinion, giving you a critical, not being overly critical, but giving you like appropriate and critical feedback.
あなた、初めてセイバーと会った時、手を抜いてたでしょ。いくらセイバーが強いって言っても、守り上手なあなたが一撃で倒されるとは思えないのよね。
あれは不意打ちだったからな。 君と同じ予想外の展開には弱いんだ。
余計なお世話よ。で、確証その2。ライダーの一件の後、セイバーを挑発してたでしょ。あれってどう考えてもあんたらしくないのよね。
He lost to Saber easily. He provoked Saber after the incident with Ryder.
それで少し見方を変えてみたら分かっちゃった。あなた、あの時セイバーを叱ってたんでしょ。
Right. I realized from a different angle. He's scolding Saber, not getting actually mad at her.
正解？やっぱりね。
Not starting a fight.
そうじゃないかと思ってたんだ。前世からの因縁にしろ何にせよ、あんたがそこまで冷たい態度を取るなんて珍しいもの。
そうかな。私は誰に対してもああいった対応をしていると思うのだが。
そう思うは本人ばかりってね。思うんだけど、あなたって自分に関することだけは不器用なのよ。周りに対してはすごく器用だから、つい騙されちゃうんだけど。
Archer frowns. He must have been self-conscious of it. The knight in red ponders with a troubled expression, and his master looks at him in pleasure. Suddenly,
で、そろそろ思い出した？自分がどこの英雄か。セイバーと関係があるなら、セイバーに近い時代の英雄なんでしょ？
now we're back to this. She said so as if testing something.
いや、もやがかかったままだ。
Yeah. Oh, my past's still hazy. I don't remember it. A great excuse. I don't. It's like he just keeps using the amnesia excuse. But it's nice to see that excuse A, used by someone who's not the protagonist, and B, them to be completely bullshitting the whole time. Like after playing so many games where amnesia is how you get to be your own character, it's nice to see someone else, and then they just abuse the fact that people accept amnesia as an excuse.
だが、君の言う通り、あのセイバーには覚えがある。あちらは知らないようだから、あまり深い関係ではなかったようだが。
じゃあ友人とか恋人関係じゃなかったのね。残念。そうだったらセイバーの正体も分かったのに。
Right. Nobody knows it, nobody knows who Saber is in this route. Or like day 11 and nobody knows. Anyway, Rin doesn't sound disappointed. It's just an offhanded remark.
まあ、いずれ思い出すさ。それより、リン、連れ込んできた者の様子はどうだ？命に別状はないのか？
なんとか命は取り留めたわ。あいつ、昨日まで怪我を負っても勝手に治ってたくせに、今回の傷は全然治らないのよ。けど、まあなんとかなったわ。幸い急所は外れてたし、3日ほど安静にしていれば食事ぐらいはできるようになる。
いや、そっちじゃない。もう一人の方だ。
ああ、藤村先生。あの人なら寝室で寝かせてあるわ。キャスターの眠りの魔術を受けているけど、本人はすっごく元気よ。処置はしてきたから、1週間眠り続けても支障はないわ。
そうか。
Right, she'll be fine. Good to
だ
know.
が、キャスターの魔術なら眠り姫になりかねないな。あの女のそれは魔術というより呪いだ。解除するには本人を倒すのが手っ取り早い。
そうね。どのみち聖杯戦争も長くは続かない。一日でも早くキャスターは倒すし、藤村先生ならひょっこり自力で起きそうだし。
So, Fujine may not wake up until we kill Caster, depending on how things go. I feel like that sounds or feels clearer here than it did in the anime. Whereas, like, she may or may not wake up in a week. You're like, okay, she's perfectly fine. Anyway, Archer nods, and after a brief pause in the conversation,
マスターが一人減ったとはいえ、セイバーは健在だ。余裕はないぞ、リン。
分かってる。すぐに町に出るわ。いくらキャスターでもセイバーを完全に支配するには時間がかかるはず。できればセイバーが操られる前にキャスターを倒さないと。
了解だ。ではあの小僧との契約もここまでだな。ではない。エミやシロはマスターではないのだろう。
He's still so obsessed with Shiro.
ならば戦力にはならんし、わざわざ守ってやる必要もない。君が使った2つ目のレイジはこれで解約ということだ。どうした？まさか共に戦ったよしみで面倒を見るなどというのではなかろうな。
Of course. This is Rin. She wants to sound cold, but she's just not cut out to be a cold-hearted magus. She wants to be like her father, but she's just not that same personality. Of course she's gonna take care of him. No.
まさかそこまでお人よしじゃないわ。
なら
けどまだ終わってない。あいつが自分から降りるっていうまで約束は破らない。
She's still like, oh yeah, we're still gonna find a way to team up.
私は突っぱねるけど、あいつが参ったっていうまでは終わらせちゃいけないんだから。
He's completely out of the war, but he's not out yet. We have to wait until he gives up. I'll try to get him out, but we can't end it until he gives up, she declares stubbornly. What can he reply to that?
それが私の方針よ。文句ある？あーちゃん。
仕方あるまい。君がそういう人間だということは言いたいほど分かっている。
Seems he's just accepted it by this point. He's like, yeah, of course. That's the way she's gonna be. His voice sounds cynical. He just laughs it off and makes an order.
行くわよ、あーちゃん。どうしてか知らないけど、キャスターは竜道寺に戻っていない。な
Oh,
ら、
Caster's not at
探し
Ruby.
出して戻る前に倒しましょう。
She's gone to the other place. I wonder if we'll see that. There's no need to answer. The knight in red nods and follows his master. Gloomy clouds are still overhead. A moonless night. She departs with Archer to take aim at her target. Prelude out. It feels like I just got punched. This is a Shiro viewpoint because they're suffering. I wake up from the pain in my shoulder. My body is still there. I feel my limbs and hear my own breathing. There's bandage wrapped around my shoulder, and the bed I'm in is soft. I don't know. Yeah, where is this place? Someone said,
ここまでね。シロはもう戦わなくて。
you don't have to fight anymore. You don't have to fight anymore. Shiro's not that kind of person. I get up. I remember everything. And jump from the bed. Pain causes my body to arch. Feel my left shoulder. It's burning hot. Feels much worse than a pulled muscle. No. I'm lucky that my arm is still attached after a sword went through it. But it still hurts bad. I slowly get out of bed. I can bear this pain if I grit my teeth. Then, the heat in my shoulder reaches my head. I shake it off and move my legs. I like how he just doesn't even look around the room. He's just like, oh, I'm just gonna jump out of bed. Forgets completely about the fact that he was ran through 5 minutes ago. Like, clearly I'll be instantly fine. The expectation is still there. There shouldn't be anyone. I remember Tosuka's words. She said those words and left. So she went to fight by herself. I head to the door. I have to go outside. I have to go find Tosuka. I fall. I almost collapse and support myself using the dresser. It's useless. I fall along with the dresser. Real question, how do you put enough weight into a dresser while leaning on it to knock it over? Like, I have a dresser. Those things weigh a shit ton. Especially when you, like, load them with clothes. I pick up the scattered stuff. I find something familiar. It's a simple pendant made of crystal. I saw it somewhere. Yeah, it was like that back then as well. The night I got pierced by Lancer. The fatal wound was healed before I knew it. There was something I picked up when I left the hallway with a tired body. It's hot. The poison in my shoulder gets to my brain and makes me dizzy. Same one. It's the same one, I know, but my mind does not think. Like the thing I dismissed as a dream. Like whose servant was fighting Lancer at that time. Like who could have saved me and who could have been there at that time. There was no need to think about it, but my head is spinning. Yeah, how do you pay that back? Pretty hard to do. Considering otherwise you've been trading debt. Now you're like, oh shit, yeah, I owe her my life? That's a tall order. I feel dizzy. My head's messed up from pain, heat, and self-deprecation. I move my legs. I have to look for her. I have something I want to tell her, and there's something she needs to know. That's all I can think about with this dizzy head. This is Shiro's voice. He made it all the way out here. When my senses return, I'm in front of the station. My hazy head is moving based on a vague image. That she's there. It orders me to go there if I'm to look for her. I don't know why I'm directed here. My boiling head is only thinking about this building. This is a nice relaxing track. I don't want to just sit here for a few minutes and listen to it loop. Yeah, that is nice. This is one of the better tracks in this novel, actually. Then, I can only follow my instincts. I didn't have any way to look for Tosuka from the start, so I can only cling to this thing. It hasn't looped yet. Nice track, though. Nice backing track. I get to the rooftop. The wind blowing here is even colder and cools down my heated brain. I hear someone gasp. Why are you here? Tosuka is looking down at the town from here like that one night.
帰りなさい。何のつもりか知らないけど、目障りよ、あなた。
She expresses her anger and stares at me. Behind her, he is standing there, telling me silently that I am of no use.
帰らない。戻るときは遠坂とだ。一緒に戦うって約束しただろう、俺たちは。
I collect my hazy mind and move my lips. I won't go home. When I do, it'll be with you. We promised to fight together, right?
そんな約束忘れなさい。だいたい今のあなたに何ができるっていうのよ。セイバーを失ったあなたにマスターの相手は務まらない。
それは。
それに、あなたが戦う必要なんてもうないわ。マスターじゃなくなったんだから、教会に逃げ込めば安全よ。あとはおとなしくしていれば、聖杯戦争は終わってくれる。
I almost faint at her words. And she's just like, I don't need you. Go to the church. It pisses me off.
バカ言うな。セイバーをあのままにしておけるか。いいか、一度戦うと言ったんだ。なら、どんなことになったって最後まで
At least he shows some resolve, right? I mean, that's basically Shiro, 100% resolve, but as an ally, at least he's not like someone who's gonna turn on you, right? That's one of the reasons Rin gave as an excuse to Archer. It's like, well, he won't turn on me. My vision turns red. I can't talk. Just yelling makes my muscles cramp up, and I almost die.
それ見なさい。今まではセイバーの助けがあったけど、なくなればそうなるのよ。いい、エミヤ君。人間は傷つけば死ぬの。あなたのその傷だって本来なら致命傷なんだから。
People normally die when they are killed. Your wound should be fatal, you know. Damn. I know that. I know, but it's so painful that I can't speak.
それに、セイバーがどうの
I
こう
live
の
all
って
the
言
way
う
here
け
with
ど、
that kind of pain.
それはあなたが気にかける問題じゃ
Fuck
ない
Shiro.
の。
What the fuck, Shiro? You're in so much pain that you can't, literally can't speak, and you like walked all the way here?
エミヤ君はマスターじゃなくなったんだから、セイバーがどうなろうと関係ないでしょ。
Rin trying to be cold, doing an okay job because it doesn't involve actions and merely words. It does concern me. All the more if Saber has helped me with pain like this up until now.
違う。マスターでなくてもだ。セイバーは嫌がっていた。あんな奴の言いなりになんてさせられ。
そう。けど、あなたは無力よ。いいわ。あなたが認めようとしないのなら、代わりに私が言ってあげる。今のあなたじゃ、セイバーを助けることなんてできない。
My heat disappears. Her cold words freeze my boiling brain.
話はここまでよ。セイバーはいなくなってマスターでもなくなった。聖杯戦争なんていう殺し合いに巻き込まれる理由はなくなったんだから、ここで白は降りなさい。
She's saying all these things, but it's like she knows his motivation isn't these things, right? Tosuka turns and walks off.
待て、遠坂。それでも。
Amidst the blowing winds, Tosuka kicks the ground without any hesitation.
バカ、何かが。
I reach out frantically. There's no need for that. The knight in red appears next to Tosuka as if protecting her. Even if she jumps from this height, she should be able to land without a problem if she has her servant. Tosca's lips move slightly. I can't hear what she said, but her eyes... You'll die if you keep involving yourself. Her eyes coldly tell me that, as if it's the last warning. My heat returns. I just want to pause here and point out that was one of those few uses of, people moving their lips but you can't hear their voice where it actually made sense. Like, don't you hate when movies do that, or movies or anime do that, where it's just like they're about to say something and then like a train goes by or a honking horn goes off or loud noise or whatever, where it's like clearly intended just to obscure you, the viewer. As I recall, they did something like that in the anime where you see her lips moving but you can't hear anything. And I kind of like how, in this case, he actually doesn't hear anything. It's not like one of those things where the viewer, isn't told what's going on. You straight up don't hear it. Like, you don't hear anything, you just see lips moving, and you kind of make an assumption based on the face. So, like, in this case, them doing one of those scenes actually makes sense, because that's what's happening. Like, not even Shiro knows what she's saying. I mean, he makes an assumption that's probably accurate, but anyway. My heat returns. The heat and the pain make my mind go crazy. I cannot save Saber. And there's no reason for Emi Ashiro to fight. My wound hurts. I look down at the night scenery that swallowed Tosaka and repeat those words in my head. Interlude 11.2. Tis a quiet night. The wind blowing on the mountain is gentle, and the rustling of the trees is as quiet as a whisper. There are no birds singing about winter, nor are there beasts howling at the moon. The only path leading to the Ryudo Temple. The long stone steps preserve its peacefulness tonight as well. But others do not know. This place has withstood 5 battles already. Each one was a great clash. Many servants challenged the Ryudo Temple. Berserker, Lancer, Rider, Saber, Archer. This mountain gate is able to enjoy the darkness thanks to the monster that has repelled all 5 enemies. The longsword moves. It is fortunate that the moon is not out. The arc of the sword moving in a crescent moon shape is so beautiful that the moon would be ashamed of itself if it saw it.
聞いているのですか、アサシン。あなたには門番を続けてもらうと言ったのです。
He ignores the Magus in purple. Caster. Assassin lowers his longsword and glances at the mountain forest without interest.
いや、邪魔者がいてな。おかしな鳥を見かけたので切ってみたが、血も出なければ悲鳴もあげぬ。これはお前の同胞か、キャスター。
そう。監視役の使い魔ね。
The master of cutting
まさか
swallows.
のマスターか、あのお嬢さんか。どちらにせよ、ここもそう長くは持たない。
He's an expert at cutting swallows, so I'm certain other birds are just a slight adjustment. Caster walks to the forest and looks down at the thing on the ground. It is the corpse of an owl. It is a bird made from crystal. It is simple but suited for spying, and must have been made by Archer's master.
あのお嬢さんも運がないわね。もう少し無能なら教え子にしてあげてもよかったのに。
He steps on it. The amethyst crystals are crushed to powder, scattering star-like dust.
こんな輩も多いですし、マスターの守護は任せましたよ、アサシン。マスターが死んでしまっては、私も消えざるを得ない。そうなればあなたとて存在してはいられない。消えたくなければ死ぬ気で門を守りなさい。
Alright then.
さて、死ぬ気でというのは難しいな。この小次郎、生まれてこの方、生きているという実感がない。そのようなものに決死を命じても無意味ではないかな、キャスター。
減らず口よ。
She doesn't like his personality either, does she?
勘違いはしないことね、アサシン。あなたは私が呼び出したサーバントよ。奴隷は奴隷らしく振る舞いなさい。いいこと？主人に忠誠を誓えないのなら、ここで消してしまうだけよ。
Caster's words are filled with enmity, contempt. For her, assassin is only a tool. It is annoying for a tool to talk, so it is natural for her to get mad when it starts to speak cynically.
そうか、それはしたり。カゲロウのごとき我が命だが、今消されるのは困る。一つ約束をしてしまったのでな。できるのならば果たしたいのだ。
なら言葉を慎みなさい。あなたはただここを守っていればいい。ええ、それが果たせた暁にはあなたを本物にしてあげるわ。宝具も持たない下級のあなたが英霊になれるのだから、命を懸ける価値はあるでしょ。
She can make him real? I'm curious if Caster's lying about that or not. Like if he ends up blasting that, if she would actually incarnate him or do some other trick. That's interesting.
心配は無用だ。元より閣僚の身、与えられた役割は演じきってみせよう。だがいいのかな、キャスター。私も主人に忠実ではないが、お前とて不義理ではないか。こたびの件、マスターには内密であろう。
That instant, Assassin's body explodes. A thumping sound. Curse that was put into his body upon summoning has exploded. The trees sway. Assassin is flung into the forest, his chest pierced from within by his own ribs. His figure is like a bloomed flower.
これはまた日に日に度が過ぎていくな、キャスター。
黙りなさい。次に同じことを言わせるのなら、あと5日を待たずに消し去るだけよ。
まったく、女と小人は手に負えんというが、お前はいささか行き過ぎだ。
At least he has his tongue still, right? The flashy servant gets up. The servant does not lose his elegance even if he shows his ribs or if his body is covered in blood. Imagine having like your entire rib cage explode outward and just being like, this is a mild inconvenience, and somehow managing to make it look good.
おお、そのような目で睨むな。美しい顔が台無しだぞ、キャスター。わかっている。お前のマスターには全て内密に行うのだろう。セイバーを捕らえたことも、私という門番がいることも隠し通す。良い美談ではないか。主人を思うその心意気、あの男に通じるといいのだが。
Wish your caring spirit would reach him. Her master. Alright.
あなた。
なに、ただの負け惜しみだ。どうあろうとお前には手を挙げられぬのだから、この程度のざれ言は許せよ。門は守る。何があろうと守り通そう。だが、そういうお前はどこに行く？私の守りは信用できぬか？
当然でしょう。 あなたはただの保険よ。けどそれも終わり。セイバーさえ手に入れれば、こんなひなびた場所を神殿にすることもないもん。
陣地替えか。となると、確かに私は用済みだが、このお山に勝る霊地があるとでも？
ええ。多少は劣るようだけど、私にふさわしい場所があるわ。それに、遠からずそこには足を運ぶのですもの。今すぐに行っても問題はないでしょう。
I feel like this is the best place to chill out if you can teleport. Well, that's just me. Caster consistently shows that she is neither a strategic nor tactical adept in like warfare, combat in general. Assassin's expression, which has been cool up to now, clouds up. Caster smiles as if she's satisfied.
そう。私たちの勝利は揺るがないのだから、先に商品を受け取りに行くの。新しい陣地と聖杯、それにセイバーという駒まで揃えた。これなら乗り気でない私のマスターも、私の方針に異論は挟めないでしょう。
Yeah, all that? Yeah, I guess it's one of those things where it's like results matter more than methods. It's true. No matter how much Caster's master, Kuzuki Suichiro, stays silent, he would be forced to fight if the conditions are set so perfectly. What is more certain is
つ
that
まらない戦いはおしまい。聖杯さえ手に入れれば、恐れるものは何もない。そう。誰であろうと、私を阻むことはできなくなるのですからね。
loud laughter pollutes the night. The magus in purple expresses her victory. The knight with the long sword looks up at the sky. The time is near. No matter what the end may be, only 5 days remain. Even though the remaining time will not likely be used up, the swordsman that has lived through hell feels that the match will not be settled easily. And that's how long the rest of the game is. They're very subtle about it, aren't they? And I fall. I can't even breathe properly. The wound on my shoulder is swelling up, and it hurts just to breathe. We're back to Shiro, if you couldn't guess. I can't keep my consciousness. I'll fall asleep if I let my guard down. No, first of all, I'm not too sure if I'm conscious or not. I don't know how I got home from that rooftop, nor why I came home. My thoughts become vague. The only sure thing is my thumping heart. Tosuka told me not to involve myself, because I'm powerless and I don't have a reason to fight anymore. But that's wrong. I knew more than anyone that I'm powerless. My reason to fight is something different. I can't let it become just a scar. Losing against others is inevitable. I'm used to being beat up, and it's vexing, but I know I can't reach them no matter what I do. But that's only when my enemy is someone else. I can't lose against myself. There's no element that would make me lose if our powers are equal. To admit defeat against such an enemy is to declare that I'm wrong. The wound distorts. Blood stains the bandage. I grab it with my left hand and glare at the darkness. The memory from 10 years ago. The words of the man who was my father. Even if I was wrong from the start, there is nothing wrong with the path I took. I wanted to be a superhero so that incident wouldn't just become a sad memory. A time where everyone would be happy and shed no tears. I have held that ideal for 10 years. It doesn't matter how badly my head refuses to function. What needs to be done is determined from the start. I didn't fight because I became a master. I decided to fight because it's something I can do, and I believed it's something I have to do. I finally remember the obvious.
遠坂、お前がどんなに言っても。
If I believe it's right, I will believe in this path till the very end. I won't stop, and I won't let her fight by herself. That's why I will sleep now. I won't let her call me a burden. I'll heal this wound up in one night. And when I wake up in the morning, I'll catch up to her for sure and repay her for what she did that night. On to February 11th, Unlimited Bladeworks, Chapter 12, Moonlight 2. Interlude 12.1.